Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable. Samsung Galaxy Note 4 presents a note from the CEO.
Hello and welcome to Galaxy Note 4 presents a note from the CEO. I'm Devina Lasson. Through this series, we'll show you the other side of CEOs, outside of the doldrums of the boardroom, and find out what is it that they like doing when they're not being a boss. Joining me today is the Managing Director and CEO of Hungama Digital Media Entertainment, Neeraj Roy. Neeraj, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So Neeraj, can we start with you telling us a little bit about Hungama and what is it that you do?
So Hungama is a digital media company. We essentially digitally distribute content across 57 countries. We have over 150 partners, and there's close to about 400 what we would call as original content partners. These could be record labels, studios, broadcasters. We take and convert their content into music, video, games and applications as a form factor. And, you're reaching out to the millions of consumers across phones, the internet, tablet, DTH, set-top boxes, etc.
And how did the idea for Hungama originate?
So, Hungama was incorporated on All Fools' Day in April of '99. At that time, the internet was very early days. There were just about 1 million people online. And our core was, on the one side, we had brands. On the other side, there were consumers. That's what we did for the first, I would say, about 5 or 6 years. And then we saw an opportunity as the telecom economy was growing, that consumers would sort of, with their phones, move from here to here, which is essentially start consuming the phone for not just communication, but also start using these devices as consumption devices. So about 7-8 years back, we started focusing a lot more on digital goods and digital content. We built an entire infrastructure in terms of technology, which will recognize about 5,500 different types of devices, different OSs and platforms. And we felt that the timing was right, Indian cinema today is viewed in about 127 countries. It's dubbed in 35 different languages. So this is almost about 50 million South Asians who are outside. So it was both the emerging domestic economy as also a fairly robust international market, which we sort of put forward a product and offering, and it worked for us.
What are the applications that you use regularly on your mobile phone that you simply can't do without?
Sure. So, the usual ones would obviously be the mix of between mail and social and your WhatsApp messaging, etc. that you do. But I would have, over the years, perhaps downloaded something like 8,000-9,000 apps. Because, being in the business, it makes a little bit of a geek out of you in your own way. But there are productivity apps that you use. I love, for example, Dropbox and its simplicity and what it's being worked around. In recent times, Microsoft's, Office 365 has been very, very useful. Then there is an entire space around news. I'm a bit of a junkie, so practically all the news apps would be there with this IBN Live, it's Money Control, it would be Flipboard and sites like that. There's a lot of gaming, which is again an integral part of what we do. So you're constantly looking at, apart from downloading your own games, you're looking at opportunities that are prevalent. So, those are some of the games and apps that you use regularly. And now, of course, I end up discovering most of them with my daughter. So, that's a whole different section. There are a couple of pages which are all dedicated to apps related to her,
And I believe that you're known to be quite the tech enthusiast, and your business ventures have absolutely proven so. Can you tell us something about your fascination with technology?
Yeah, so see, Devina, this is Technology is something that I've always described. It's like playing a game of Mario. You know, you've got to come to a spot and then you've got to jump. You know, you don't do it right. You know, you'll get a couple of power-ups and you'll kind of move up. But you don't get 2 or 3 cycles right and you're over. Hungama has somehow survived 15 years. We've completed 15 years, within which there have been close to about 8 to 10 companies that we have incubated. We've sold some of them. We're still running some of them. The only way you can do that is where, you know, each year when you are sort of so-called growing old, my belief is each year you've got to become 3 years younger. If you see what's happening around, some of the biggest innovation in the last 5 years has actually been driven by companies which are 10 years old. Facebook's a 10-year-old company. You know, companies like Snapchat are like 3 and 4 years old. So you're not going to be relevant unless and until you're getting into the exact mindset of consumers who are using your products and services.
So I believe you're quite the fan of playing a variety of sports, and you're quite the fan of fitness. How do you manage to keep up with this fitness routine in the midst of your busy schedule?
See, I went to boarding school in Nainital, and that gave me an opportunity to play every conceivable sport. I mean, you know, apart from cricket, hockey, baseball, basketball, whatever. And then, you know, when you sort of, I took to golf very early and continued doing that. To be honest, I've not been able to be as active as I would like to be. But fitness to me is about, you know, visiting the gym at least 4 or 5 days in a week, spending some time. I'm really all about just, you know, staying healthy. And now the motivation to stay healthy is more for your family than yourself, you know. So, yeah, I mean, you know, you've got to figure it out. You've got to take the time out in some way or the other for it, and whether you're traveling or you're here. So I balance it, you know.
And are there any apps that you use to help you with your fitness routines?
Yeah, so I'm not wearing it right now, but, you know, see, again, in technology, you will look at, so one of the bigger trends recently is all around wearables. So I have been using Nike Fuel Band, and, you know, I use that. Fitness Pro is another app which kind of just monitors your movement, and, you know, it will give you, it set goals for you in terms of what you do, etc. Fitness is one of the bigger categories in the app economy, and I would probably have downloaded about 30 of them, but maybe used 2-3 of those, yeah.
And in terms of a Samsung Galaxy Note 4, what are the applications and what is the usage you get out of it that helps you facilitate your business?
The Note is now, it's been around, and they've kept on upgrading, and I think Samsung's innovation on that, you know, from the stylus to features that they've brought about is always been interesting. For me, it started off initially with the big screen, because they were one of the first ones to introduce something like that. It then made my presentations, you know, my PDF documents, etc., and kind of made the whole process of the laptop a lot more redundant. The second component, so apart from the productivity and basic, you know, apps that you're using, we'll enjoy sort of listening to music. So for me, you know, I think the Hungama music service itself is a great experience on that. Between me and my daughter, we can get very competitive between Monopoly and the various games that we play on that. So there's enough, and I think with each passing day and week, there is newer and newer content which is being available through the Play stores, etc. So, you know, you discover, but it's pretty much an integral part of what you're doing now.
Okay, great. And just on a concluding note, you know, you've been in the industry for about 15, 16 years, and I believe you are quite known as an innovator in the digital space, in the mobile space. What's next for you?
See, I think next for me is, to a great extent, synced in to the next opportunity for this nation. In my mind, the next 10 years, of which the next 5 are going to be one of the most prolific years for India. We will transition from 2G to 4G over the next 6 months. We will probably add another 400 million consumers on the internet, going to about 600, 650 million consumers, possibly by 2017, 2018, making us, you know, the second largest market. I think, you know, it's just about begun. I said this at the Mobile World Congress at one of the keynotes, I think about 5 years back, where I said, video will become like air. You know, it's something that you will experience everywhere. That is something that we are committed to. So today, if you see the Hungama service, it's integral. You know, it's there in your phone. You put on your Samsung Smart TV, it's there. You go into your automobiles, tablets, whatever it may be. So we're really building this into the most dominant digital media company, and I think the Indian domestic market is going to give us that opportunity.
Okay, great. Neeraj, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking with you today.
You're welcome, and it's been wonderful talking to you as well.
Thank you. With that, it's time for a short break. On the other side, we meet up with Vishal Gondal, the founder and CEO of Goki, and find out about his active Sundays. Stay tuned.
Samsung Galaxy Note 4 presents a note from the CEO.